When you were first scouted to be a model in Paris at the age of just 17, they promised you millions, you would travel the world. So how quickly did you realise that that really wasn't the case?
Quite quickly, actually, because you have not to eat first, so you're going to be in really bad health. Because basically, I was like, I came into the agency and I had to lose 2 stones, so I had to go down to 7 stones, whereas I'm 5'10". So I was eating 3 apples a day, something which is like not good at all to do,
No.
because I finished in the hospital, and
But they didn't say you're too big. They didn't say
No,
don't
no,
eat.
no.
They didn't say lose weight.
It's really vicious, They
Okay.
don't say that. They just tell you are size 8, you have to be size 2 for the fashion weeks if you want to fit into the clothes and if you want to have a job. And then you are encouraged not to eat because they literally applaud you and clap into their hands when you lose weight.
Here's the first question that people watching think, why do they only have clothes in one size when they sell clothes in all sorts of sizes?
I know, it's really weird. I don't know where it comes from. They want androgynous bodies, on the catwalk, and I think they actually don't really love women, they don't like women's curves, and we have to change it because it's not a good idea of women's body today, and all the teenagers actually identify themselves to this kind of ideal, and it's really not healthy, and it does encourage anorexia and eating disorders.
And let's be clear, women come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Some women are naturally thin, they have naturally narrow hips, but that wasn't the case for you, and it was forcing you to be underweight, unhealthily so.
Yeah, no, but what I want to say about that is that, yeah, you can be thin. You can be thin, of course. You are when you are 15, you are when you are 16. But trust me, you can't be a size 2 when you are 5'10". It can't be natural. So, it's easy to say, like, on social media, I eat all that and it's natural and all that. But it's not. I mean, they ask you to be unhealthy to fit into the clothes, and then girls actually think it's natural, but it's not.
And you did this and you saw other models, and we've heard it before, taking drugs to suppress their appetites and that sort of thing. And when you went to New York Fashion Week, you picked up an horrendous nickname. What did they call you?
Oh, the Yeti catwalk?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, well, because I had hair on my arm and my tights, and it's actually a sign of anorexia, just because I had no fat. I was a skeleton, I was down to the bone, and so the body protects itself like that by increasing the hair.
So they encourage you to be thin, so much so that you become unhealthily thin, you develop anorexia, which is awful, and then they mock you for that at the same time.
Yeah, and even they Photoshop you, on for the catalogs and the editorials and all that. So they add fat on your body so you don't look so thin, because of course it's not nice and pretty. So they play with your body and with your health.
When did you decide that this just couldn't last, that you had to get out? And when did you decide that you were going to write your book about this?
So I decided to stop at some point when I saw I was really mistreated, and I damaged my health too much, and I was literally under a bridge in Paris wearing lingerie, and the photographer was taking hours adjusting his camera, and I thought I was going to die freezing. And it was a big scandal because I went back to the car saying to the photographer, I don't want to wait, I don't feel good. And he called my agency saying, who does she think she is? And my agent called me back saying, you only are a model. And this sentence was just too much for me. And I was like, I'm not going to do that anymore. And after that, it was like a big issue. They didn't want me to go because I made a lot of money for them, of course, for my agency. And I actually tried to kill myself at some point because it was too intense, and the pressure and everything. They didn't let me go. And so last year in France, I decided to write a book about it, because anorexia doesn't go out of the catwalk, and little girls, even when they are 8 now, my little cousins, they tell me I'm too fat, and you can't talk about it when you're a child, so it's like a public health issue, and that's why I want to talk about it.
Well, let's quickly talk about some of the possibilities in your home. You live in the UK now, but in your home country of France, models need confirmation from a doctor that they're healthy. Under law, also a BMI of 18. It's something that British politicians have also been looking at. Do you think that kind of thing is helping, getting more medical professionals in to say, yes, he or she is healthy and can model?
Well, I think it doesn't really help actually because it doesn't work in France. You know, it was the law was voted last year in France and it's still not applied right now. And I had a meeting with the French Minister of Health and Women's Rights, and she told me that designers actually told her, if you do apply this law, we will make the fashion week in another country.
Well, finally, Victoire, what one thing should be done? What would you like to see done now?
Well, I think all the models should be above 18. There should be like a size 10 if they are 5'10". I think it's like what we have to do, and I think people have to be aware of that when they buy magazines, and I think everybody is responsible about this ideal of beauty. We have to know that it's a fake image of women today, and we do not have to accept to be represented that way. But it's about like today's society, you know, we have to talk about it. It's not about a law, it's about awareness in today's society, I think.